Peace to the family. This is Abdul Ali, candidate for U.S. House District 12 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's just be real, folks. The Democrats have destroyed our major cities. Their policies have made us less safe, they've given us less economic opportunity, and they've provided less educational opportunities for our children. And that's why I'm running for Congress, because I know what it takes to improve these issues. I've got great working relationships already in D.C.
My name is Minister EnQi. I am the naturopathic doctor and the spokesman for the Melanin Verse Diabetes Ministry. Every time you go to the supermarket without the electrician grocery shopping list, it's like putting a loaded gun to your head. Stop playing Russian roulette with your life. Help us make America great again. Learn how to save time. Learn how to save money with the electrician grocery shopping list on Amazon now. Go to Amazon now. The life you save may be your own.
Does not have an actual medical degree. He has a certificate of healing. It's a piece of paper that says certificate of healing.
So what?
So to me, he's as much of a doctor as Dr. Dre.
Eat a salad? Nah, fuck that. Give me a steak and some tap water. Let's get Dr. Nick, the EnQi, the EnQi. One of them, the EnQi niggas in particular, the EnQi. Nigga, I was talking about the other day. What's that nigga name? The EnQi doctor. The doctor nigga.
Get these books from Amazon.com right now.
Your science shaky. You really need to read Dr. EnQi books. God said he gave you a cow so you can eat. He said he separated the milk from the blood so you could drink it. But you niggas run around talking about, don't eat that. Who the fuck is you niggas to tell me different than what God said, nigga?
Amazon.com.
Saying I put the post with Zip on it, then I put the post with Sebi on it, and then after that, things went, So that's why I'm saying I feel partially responsible for how this turned out.
Niggas start talking about Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi. They say, oh, so what you think, Dr. Sebi was capping? You don't think he was capping? I know it's impolite to ask a question, to answer a question with a question, but it's 211 people in the chat, in the building right now. I don't know how many of y'all is participating in the chat. Let me get a 1 if you think Dr. Sebi knew what he was curing people. If you give me a 1 if you think he was curing people. And give me a 2 if you think Dr. Sebi was capped.
Now listen, at this moment, I had to go take the dog out. But a lot of number ones went up in the chat. A lot of number ones went up in the chat right at that moment. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of number ones went up in that chat. But you see what I'm saying? This is because with Zip content, right? With Zip content, this doesn't make no sense. What are you doing, Zip? Coming way over here, attacking the vegans and Dr. Sebi. What are you doing? You totally out of pocket for this right now.
The world knew New York as Muslims, as gods. When I was growing up, we had knowledge of self. I was a god body. I'm still acknowledging myself as that. I had knowledge of self. New York, we need to get back to being civilized. Off this gang shit, off the blood, off the crip. Let's go back to the essence, nigga.
Back to the
Let's go back to being civilized.
That's all I'm saying, man. We got to get focused now. Zip, you supposed to be way over there with your content. You ain't got no business coming all the way over here talking about phenotypes and genotypes and was Dr. Sebi capping or not. Respectfully, you are not qualified to. Zip, you got to relax.
So what you think, Dr. Sebi was capping? You don't think he was capping? I know it's impolite to ask a question, to answer a question with a question, but it's 211 people in the chat, in the building right now. I don't know how many of y'all is participating in the chat. Let me get a 1 if you think Dr. Sebi knew what he was curing people. If you give me a 1 if you think he was curing people. And give me a 2 if you think Dr. Sebi was capped.
Amazon.com.
I'm going to light this little clear zip up. Let me know. Misplaced loyalty. That's just a lot of 1s. 1, 2, come on. Monte Ellis said cap. More 1s than 2s. I see the 1 and a 2. Share this live, y'all, because I want y'all to really hear this shit that I gotta say in regards to this. Share the live. Share the live. Hit this clip. He beat the U.S. in court. Cap. Him beating the U.S. in court. Cap. I'm calling cap on that. Public record, do your research. He won a case in the Supreme Court, proving it. Cap. Hold up. So now, check it. So one of the comments was about Dr. Sebi. And so my reply, look, same day. I get 63,000 views right here. Boom, saying, I just want to say, you are what you eat. Right? If you only eating plants. So, this shit is that, I said I had to come right back. I said what I said about the plant-based diet people. Curing people. If you give me a 1 if you think he was curing people. And give me a 2 if you think Dr. Sebi was capped.
Amazon.com.
I'm going to light this little clear zip up. Let me know. Misplaced loyalty. That's just a lot of 1s. 1, 2, come on. Monte Ellis said cap. More 1s than 2s. I see the 1 and a 2. Share this live, y'all, because I want y'all to really hear this shit that I gotta say in regards to this. Share the live. Share the live. Hit this clip. He beat the U.S. in court. Cap. Him beating the U.S. in court. Cap. I'm calling cap on that. Public record, do your research. He won a case in the Supreme Court, proving it. Cap. Hold up. So now, check it. So one of the comments was about Dr. Sebi. And so my reply, look, same day. I get 63,000 views right here. Boom, saying, I just want to say, you are what you eat. Right? If you only eating plants. So, this shit is that, I said I had to come right back. I said what I said about the plant-based diet people. People get in the comments. They upset. Maybe they got plant-based diets. I don't know. Then they start asking me about Dr. Sebi. Oh, so you think Dr. Sebi was capping? Blah, 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 blah. Bitch, who you know that had that hurt that don't got it no more listening to Dr. Sebi? Because that's what they did. Oh, no, he had the cure for this. He had the cure. What the fuck did that nigga cure? Who he cured? We want to know. Who had that hurt that don't got it no more? Fuck out of here, Dr. Sebi. That nigga ain't no different than Miss Cleo to me. Let's get to that. Hey, yo. Now, I said what all of you motherfuckers that put one in the chat, tell me who you know that had that hurt or that house in Virginia.
Dr. Sebi does not have an actual medical degree. He has a certificate of healing. It's a piece of paper that says certificate of healing.
So what?
So to me, he's as much of a doctor as Dr. Dre.
Vlad keeps asking, well, is Dr. Sebi a licensed medical doctor or surgeon? Otherwise, he can't know what he's talking about. Question is, are you a fucking licensed medical doctor or surgeon?
He claims to have cured AIDS and cured cancer. I've never seen any actual proof of any of this. None of those people took an AIDS test before and after Dr. Sebi.
Here is one. This is from the Italian hospital. HIV positive. Hospital Vicente di Antoni. He is positive. In the next page, from the same hospital, the same young man, Oswald Zavala, he is negative.
Get these books from Amazon.com right now.
Your science shaky. We need to read Dr. EnQi books. Who you know that had that hurt that don't got it no more listening to Dr. Sebi?
How about I just share my story? I'll share my story because this is something close to home. Because if we're dealing with sexual STDs, let's say I had 2 of them. This is how I got into the whole mix about health. You know, and I wonder how this looks, but I basically, after Georgia State, after being in a relationship where I'm super comfortable with it now because that's in hindsight. That's over a decade ago, right? So for me, you know, and it created such a cascade of things. But let me start from the top. You know, going to Georgia State University, for those of you who don't know, Atlanta, Georgia is the mecca of the greatest ratio for heterosexual males, I would say, in the country. Maybe outside the country, you get like places like the DR, Colombia, Philippines. But Atlanta was where I went to college, Georgia State University. And, you know, when you go to college, you do stupid shit. After graduating from Georgia State University, I found out that I found out through my girlfriend at the time, who, if she's seeing this, you know, she knows. She failed her pap smear test. And after she failed her pap smear test, I was like, yo, I need to go to get myself checked out. And when I got myself checked out, I had an HSV2. And that was the point where I said to myself,
Amazon.com.
Nah, something has to give. And backstory, in my life, previously, I was born with asthma. And from the ages of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I was in the hospital back to back every single year. Every time the Sahara dust would come over the Caribbean and coat the Caribbean with that smog of really, really nutrient-dense stuff for the plants, I would get asthma. I would first my nose would get stuffy, I would get congestion, and then it would drip into my lungs, and I wouldn't be able to breathe. From that experience, the last time I went to the hospital was when I was 12, and I realized that the doctors and the nurses were a bunch of idiots, and I kept doing the same thing over and over, and I was like, fuck them. I'm gonna just do some push-ups. I did some push-ups. The blood went up my IV. They took the IV out. I stopped eating their food, and I just started eating tuna fish and crackers. So by the time from 12 to 13, and then from 13 to 14, I lost an extreme amount of weight. I did push-ups. So I was getting stronger, and I never had to go to the hospital again. fast forward, the context for what I'm telling you now is I knew when I was diagnosed with these STDs that there was a solution, because this word came from a medical mentality, and I know these guys they're just a bunch of idiots. So around that time, who was the GOAT at that time? It was Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi was going around, he was talking his shit and doing what he was doing. So I went on the Dr. Sebi route, and in doing that, I stopped eating. So I was actually working at Georgia State University as security guard at the time during this process. I went from being 175 pounds, which I am now again, to about 125, 130 pounds. So I stopped eating. I ate one meal a day, or I'd eat every other day. I ate one meal a day, or I'd eat every other day. I ate one meal a day, or I'd eat every other day.
How to Eat to Live by Elijah Muhammad? Dang Valley.
And I took a bunch of herbs, and eventually I got my negatives. It took, I'd say, maybe, if I'm being modest, it took about 8 months for me to get rid of it, where I disappeared into nothingness. And my journey ever since has been trying to figure out how to make this process of healing more efficient. Talk to me.
Just real quick for the people, so they can understand what you mean by 8 months to get your complete negatives, like, because they might not understand viral load and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Okay, so when you have HSV, you can have either a high viral load or a low viral load.
Amazon.com.
The higher the viral load, the higher the level of your body's defense mechanism against it. The lower the viral load, the less your body's fighting a disease. The only thing you pick up when you're doing an HSV test is your body's fighting of the disease versus its storm, but we'll get to that later. So it took me 8 months to get from where I was to being completely negative. That's how long it took using the approach that I took. And if I'm being 100% honest, I didn't know shit at the time. I just knew that if I kept this up, or rather, I just believed, keyword, that if I kept this up, I would get the results. And as I saw the number go down and down, it did just that, right? So that was my journey, and me figuring out how to get those results in the most efficient way has been really, not just for herpes, but in all aspects of health. That's been my health journey. How do I help people get this in the most efficient way? Normal people, because I realized I was not a normal person to just stop eating. It requires a lot of willpower to just go cold turkey. Normal people will never do that in order to get those results. They would never. How to make it so that normal people can get those real results. That is what I spent, I would say, 12, 13 years now, trying to learn. And a part of that journey, I'm speaking to what I would easily say my greatest teacher that helped me figure out the mystery. So this is dope. Just being able to be here. And in this capacity on this live with this man, you guys don't even know.
Amazon.com.
You guys don't even know. And as we begin to talk and share more things transparently in a way that's receptive for people, you guys are going to understand. Like most of the people that you listen to right now, remix a lot of the stuff Dr. EnQi has taught.
Get these books from Amazon.com right now.
Your science shaky. You need to read Dr. EnQi books.
Who you know that had that hurt that don't got it no more listening to Dr. Sebi?
Get these books from Amazon.com right now.
The EnQi, Dr. EnQi. One of them niggas in particular, Dr. EnQi. Nigga, I was talking about the other day. The EnQi. What's that nigga name? The EnQi doctor. The doctor nigga. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Faith and love. Love and faith. Faith and love. Love.
Why was I waiting for that screen to disappear by itself for some reason? I'm trying to get into the world of the pre-edits. So I guess maybe I thought an edit was like something that had already been edited up. Peace to the family. I appreciate the Cash Apps. I definitely need the Cash Apps. Hopefully y'all been appreciating the content. If you are part of the people, the sneaky, low-down people, if you are part of the sneaky, low-down people that watch the channel and are not subscribed, please turn over a new leaf and subscribe to the channel. Right? Subscribe to the channel. Now, I know some of y'all have said, Doc, you already killed Zip. It's a wrap. It's overkill at this point. Here's the reason why we needed to have this conversation, right? A, just so we could add the clarity of, there are people asking legitimate questions, right? So just for clarity, when it comes to the court case, right? Here's why there's confusion, right? Ideas create confusion, right? So, and there is a space where legend conflicts with reality. Sometimes, sometimes legend can conflict with reality. So in reality, the case was centered around a couple of key things. Dr. Sebi's case was centered around a couple of key things. One, the term and definition. Hold on.
Peace to the family. This is Abdul Ali, candidate for U.S. House District 12 here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's just be real, folks. The Democrats have destroyed our major cities. Their policies have made us less safe. They've given us less economic opportunity, and they've provided less educational opportunities for our children. And that's why I'm running for Congress, because
Oh, I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what I'm supposed to do. Good, good thing I have my grocery shopping list. Don't leave home without it.
Okay, that's a little better. So what do I mean by that? The legend
is, Dr. Sebi cured AIDS, and he took the government to court and proved in court that he could do it. You know what I'm saying? That's the legend. That's not reality. The reality was a lot closer to specifics of not being licensed and advertising cure, which if you're advertising cure, that means that in order to effectuate cure, you have to be somehow dealing with some type of medicine as well. So the two main parts, and this is from a co-defendant. So the Dr. Sebi wasn't in the case by himself. It was Dr. Sebi, Ma'a, and Mama Pill. All right. So this is Mama Pill's mouth to my ear. Right. The main two things was cure. Can he prove that he was curing things? And the other thing was the medicine part. Right. So the herbs was challenged to be whether that was medicine or not. And so the victory came obviously in not taking a loss. So the bar was kind of set low, right? The victory came in not taking a loss, but also in proving that he wasn't, he wasn't trying to masquerade and sell fake medicine. That was a huge victory. That was a huge victory for the community. So when I say the community, I mean the holistic, naturopathic, because a lot of people, we don't see with our eyes, we don't hear with our ears, we see and we hear with our mind. So a lot of people draw different lines in their mind based on what their life look like. So if in their life looks straight versus gay, they've drawn some lines in their mind, or black and white, they've drawn some lines in their mind, or whatever the case may be. But, as a whole, for all of the people that just believe in naturopathic, plant-based, or just a wide variety of people that are considered to have subculture ideas or interests, that was a W. So reality, there was definitely a lot of W's that came out of that situation with Dr. Sebi, right? But the legend that began and, continues to grow is obviously larger than some of the reality. You know what I'm saying? But I think being able to show the paperwork, you know what I'm saying, like we did earlier in the video. If you're just tuning in, you might have to go back, rewind the video. Because I had to do that when Vlad was talking crazy. And then Vlad stopped. Right? Remember. You know what I'm saying? So now we got somebody else. Right? Rich Homie Quan, right? We just had the conversation last weekend about Fat Homie Scoop. A couple of days before that, we had the conversation about Irv Gotti, right? So if we think about it, this is why the name of the new book is what? Well, one of the new books anyway. The name of one of the new books is what? Live Fast and Die Dumb, right? Live fast and die dumb. This is the thing that I'm fighting for. This is one of the things that I'm passionate about. This is one of the places where I want us to be able to see that we made change, that we made headway, that we Rome wasn't built in a day. You know what I'm saying? The Great Pyramid wasn't built in a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so thinking that the world would change, like, with the Thanos finger snap, that may not be a realistic goal, right? But being able to just lay some of those foundational bricks towards, being the person to start putting these bricks down and go, the hip hop healthcare, it's time to really start laying some of these bricks down and not, because we've been throwing an idea around for a long time. I seen a couple of people throw the idea around on Drink Champs, right? That is delicious. Yo, you ever make your Blue Magic sea moss? Because it's really a really strong taste. You ever make it and it's just right, and you can't repeat that again? Yo, you ain't gonna be able to repeat that again. Yo. But yeah, just taking it all the way back to the, to the giddy. The reality mixed with the legend. Things get a little crazy. Right? Things get a little crazy, but but for people asking about the healing process, I want to learn that information. Hopefully in the post edit, I'll put like a little sound and then something up here right there. One of the books. One of the books, or a couple of the books, the trio of books. Maybe I put the Dr. Sebi books right there. Right? That'd be a good idea for you to be able to continue to follow up the study. We gotta push the envelope forward, because I think like it doesn't take that many of us to do it. And we will be wasting our minds, our great minds, if we don't make a run at something. You know what I'm saying? As we go from the Fat Man Scoops last weekend to the Rich Homie Quans this weekend, Irv Gotti a couple of weeks before that, right? Remember where we was at? Come on. Wake up, right? What's standing in between us and that? The only thing that's standing between us and that is the knowledge, right? We haven't began to trust ourselves and adapt to ourselves yet. So it was important for me to show a few pieces of the conversation I had with Holistic Jedi, because literally everything that Zip is out there, and unfortunately, whether you guys like it or not, Zip represents a large portion of our population. So it's really up to us to educate our brothers, educate our sisters. You know what I'm saying? Our ladies, it's the same. And let me let y'all take a look at something. I want y'all to take a look at something real quick. Did y'all see this? Did y'all see this here? This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Do y'all see what I'm saying? So you got the Rich Homie Quans. Contrast that against the Dame Dash. Right? The Dame Dash. Contrast that against Irv Gotti. Right now, Irv Gotti's walking on the cane. He just had a stroke. Right? Why am I mentioning all this? And what does any of this all got to do with Zip? Why am I mentioning all these different people? And what does any of this have to do with Zip? And why should you waste your time on any of this conversation or video? Or make it make sense. Make it plain, Brother Malcolm. Okay. When we think about the culture The idea of the culture is something that from certain angles is ugly, but from other angles is beautiful at the same time. Is blossoming out of poverty, right? Right. When you think of culture, you know, it's the laughing, it's the joking, it's also the tears, the pain, right? The struggle. So when you think of culture or the culture, you attach. You never, we haven't really had a generation over the hump, right? So the idea is coming out of poverty, everything is against you. Everything is against you. Coming out of poverty, you got to do whatever you got to do. Try to make it out, however you get out, right? But here's the thing. So now, fast forward, we got like a couple of folks getting out. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm still not out yet. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to grab me and pull me. But no, seriously. So, but we got folks. It's a mind-blowing thing that I learned early on going to like business seminars, listen to business seminars. I forgot who was the speaker at the time, but the speaker was saying, and so, you know, it was mind-blowing for me. Like the speaker was saying, it was mind-blowing for him. Same way I'm saying it was mind-blowing. It's the same way the speaker said when he heard it from another speaker. But the mind-blowing concept is just simplicity. A lot of businesses go out of business, not because they had a bad idea, the product was bad, the service was bad. A lot of businesses go out of businesses because they're more successful than their infrastructure is strong enough to carry the success that, you know, like say for instance, a old lady goes into an apple pie business. I don't know why I don't know why I came up with that. An old lady goes into an apple pie business, and you know she can make a pie an hour. You know, she goes into business, she makes 10, 20 pies. She thinks that, you know, maybe she'll sell 5 or 10 pies, or maybe she'll be successful and sell all her pies in one day. Somebody comes and they want to buy 1,000 pies. Somebody sees that person order, they want to buy 2,000 pies. Now she in the hole for 3,000 pies by today. You know, like that happens. And in the grander scheme of life, that's kind of happening. So you got all of these concepts, and this is one of the reasons why I've been bringing people back around to this equation, time equals money. Because you tend to put because you need, these are ultimate, like you have to kind of have time and money. Some, you know, depending on who you are as a person, that determines your value for how much money your exact amount of time is equal to. But everybody's scale, everybody has a scale where your time equals money. And so you got to try to do the best you can to optimize your time and your energy and your education and your relationships and all these things so that you will get money. We're going to get some money out here, right? We're going to get some money. And pretty much everything just be geared to get money. Even in the culture, the phrase getting money encompasses so much. So you could communicate a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like just the facial expression. Like somebody could have an amazing facial expression and be like, yo, everybody about to meet up at such and such house. Yo, we was getting money. You know, and so you know immediately like, yo, it's getting ready to go crazy. Or they could have a face like, you know, such and such just got, they just got such and such, man. They was getting money. So oh man, they about to go away for football. They probably gonna get football numbers. They're going to jail for a long time. Same words, different contexts, different meanings, right? Just to elucidate on how much the term means to the culture, getting money. We never think about the time aspect. Everybody spent the weekend cracking up at Dame Dash, because his teeth came out. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really find it funny until somebody sent me one connected to Yaki and said that Yaki's herbs made Dame Dash teeth. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I just on some super, I don't even know where it came from, but just like on some Harlem, you know what I'm saying? Like I just felt like, you know what I'm saying? At 47 years old, I just felt like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, something came from somewhere. It's like when you see a kid getting bullied and you be like, yo, nah, I'm not even laughing. That's not funny. I just took that way with this situation. Like, nah, this ain't funny, bro. Nigga too flew out and all that, B. I got super hype in New York, like immediately. Shit ain't funny, B. Yo, when I see that Yaki's herbs made Dame teeth, oh my goodness. I couldn't. Yeah, that was crazy. But my point though is Zip is the prototype for a lot of different issues. A lot of different issues that we could speak to. And one of them is our primary objective, right, is the educational part, right? We can look at Irv Gotti, right? Irv Gotti, mover, shaker, by some people's standards, they would say legend, visionary, all kinds of things they would associate with his name. While he was conquering everything, he didn't have Dr. EnQi around. He didn't have Dr. EnQi's books. Like, I'm just saying, this has to be the culture. The culture has to come back full circle. And the crazy thing is people act like I'm pulling teeth when I'm saying this, but this is how it started. There was no such thing as music divorced from the teachers. There was no music divorced from the teachers. I think that's the biggest difference between the music today and yesterday. Like, it was always in today's microwaved anti-WAC 100 New York. In today's anti-WAC 100 New York, you know, freezer meal or starter kit, there's a certain type of banter, you know what I'm saying, that goes on with the back and forth. But this is a part of our growth, you know, getting back to the space where we go, okay, as much as there's conscious people that would like you to believe, or peaceful people that would like you to believe that when rap started, there was no violence or drugs or whatever involved. That's as incorrect as people making you believe that hip hop didn't start with consciousness and positive messages and blah, 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 blah. Right? All those things existed in the culture. The only problem, which is the same thing that kind of started this conversation from the conscious sector to the darker sector, is balance. Just my request as the young elder, you know what I'm saying, to get some balance. Because that's what we're looking at, you know what I'm saying? If it hasn't started to click yet, what we're looking at is, because there's no longer lessons, because we no longer start on the one, because we no longer lead with knowledge, because we no longer thirst to continue to grow our minds past finding a way to make money. Like, once we find a quote unquote hustle, a way that we can make money over and over again, all of our personal and self-development stops. As women, as men, it just stops. Because money is our only driving factor. So the moment that we can put together food past tomorrow, past this weekend, we're good. Wash, rinse, repeat. And so the culture is developed out of that space of also short-term thinking. So now that life is expanding, life expectancy is getting longer, right? Technology, you know, we're learning about ourselves a little bit more. The idea of knowledge of self is going from the distance from the earth to the sun to more of the distance from cytochrome 1 to cytochrome 2, right? The idea of even what poverty is changing. So, you know, people have more access, more technology, more, you know, ease of information, you know, to assimilate information. But the learning curve is the hardest for us. The learning curve is the hardest for Black folks. And this is not something that that's like just visible in one area, or you got to study some high level information for 30 years in secret, living in a cave like a monk on top of a mountain, you know, drinking water that runs at noon, you know, like nah, bro. That's That's far from it. But in every area, we're having this blind spot where I think we're allowing our talent maybe to surpass the fundamental development that is only taught in martial arts, but it's just as real a science as, you know, as physics or chemistry, you know what I'm saying? But the linking between your mind and your body, very important to understand, because if you're blessed physically, genetically, you can turn those physical blessings into wealth and comfort in your life, where other people will have to work harder, you know, to make up difference. We got to simplify the game. We got to simplify the game. As we get more money, we need to start building the infrastructure. Going back to the earlier conversation where I was saying, you learn that a lot of people that was going into business, they weren't failing in business because the idea was bad, the intentions or whatever was wrong. They just didn't have the infrastructure set up to carry the demand for what they was ready to offer the people. We could be in that same space as a people. We're getting to a space where in a variety of ways, we're coming out of poverty, mental poverty, education. You know, people are educating themselves, self-development, self-education, autodidact, you know, like these are becoming everyday things. You know, majority of YouTube views, how to, you know, just facts. You know, a lot of the books on Amazon, how to create, build, you know, so everything is moving. We're allowing our talent, though, to go, to let us get into a comfort zone, and we're not building out our mind completely. I think that's the way I want to phrase it. I was kind of searching for the right way to phrase what I wanted to say. Because the end goal is a cash denomination, money, we're allowing our physical talent to get us over the quote unquote imaginary finish line of whatever that amount of money is for each and every one of us. When we get over that finish line, we have no more propeller pushing us forward, telling us to dig in deeper and take another step. You know, yourself, you know, your life isn't done yet. You still got more to learning to do, more experiences to have. Like you still have to keep on going. Because that thing doesn't exist. After our guys pass the finish line, everything goes to hell. Everything goes to hell. This is why you see Irv Gotti walking with a cane, Fat Man Scoop last weekend. Now this week is you know, Dame Dash with the teeth. Right? Dame Dash with the teeth. Right? Rich homie Quan, may he rest in greatness. Right? He was important to the Southern culture, but when you look at that group, Irv Gotti, Dame Dash with the teeth, Rich homie Quan, Fat Man Scoop, there's no, the only connection connecting all of them is just ignorance, the same blind spot. You know, because we're going from tall to short, fat to skinny, young to old, you know, like all over the place, disease, medication, you know, like all the cases are all, everything is different, right? Dame Dash, people know he's been struggling with diabetes for a long time, right? And y'all thought I was being aggressive when I was saying, why is it that somebody with type 1 diabetes, hold on, y'all thought I was being aggressive when I was saying, why is it somebody with type 1 diabetes is opening up a snack business with his son? Type 1 diabetes is passed down parent to children. So why, if you even got that in your bloodline, would you open up a bakery, a cupcake a chocolate chip cookie, a donut organization? Like I couldn't understand. Anyway, I voiced my opinion, my little old 2 cents. You know, 2 cents ain't worth nothing but 2 cents. And depending on who you are, 2 cents might be worth less than 2 cents. So, you know, I had my little 2 cents. Fast forward now, it's the teeth. Keep in mind, though, this is Dame Dash, right? Keep in mind, this is Dame Dash. So what does that mean, Doc? It means Yaki's program is no good. Okay, that's what, no, I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding. No. I'm kind of kidding. No, what I am saying is because he's Dame Dash, what you got to think of is even with no information, a person with more money with access to more items will tend to have a more nutritious diet than a person with no knowledge but no money also, right? Because they have a lot more limiting factors on what they're going to choose to eat versus a person that their only limiting factor is what they taste for at the moment or what's available, right? So when we think of Dame Dash, you got to think he's had more money, more opportunity, more people around him, right? He's had the best of care with whichever models of care he has had over the years for his different situations, right? But there's just so much more that we could be doing, right? So we know he's been battling with disease over the years. We know Kay Slade just, passed not too long ago. Yeah, this is we just getting to the other side. You know, like when I was in my 20s and when I was in my 20s, none of this was real yet, right? There's a phase in your life where it's a phase in your life where you got a lot of ideas, things you're getting ready to do. And you're not realizing that and I think I learned this in masonry, right? But you never realize, and this is like this is a moment where you take a break and you go send me some money on the Cash App. This is one of those moments. You take a break, money on the Cash App. Listen, take a break, relax, go to Cash App and send the money. Send the money on Cash App. Don't think about what you could do. Act now. Go to Cash App. Send the money. Seriously, what I learned was it wasn't all the things that you said that you was gonna do. It's all the discipline. This is why martial arts, they put an emphasis on discipline. This is why Islam, they pay keen attention to intention, right? Intentionality, right? But all the things that you say you're going to do, all those things require you to make preparation for those things. How hard you devote yourself to each one of those things is how well you're going to be prepared for the actual thing it is that you wind up doing later on. Say, for instance, you want to play you want to be in the NBA when you grow up, right? As a kid, this is what you're thinking. You're 10 years old, 15 years old, whatever. So you hooping. You're working out, you hooping, you working out, you hooping. The crew breaks up. A couple people, they going back to the neighborhood, try to get a few dollars. Couple people over here, they're going to get some stuff to try to have some fun, get a few laughs, maybe a few touchy-feelies. The third group, well, you know, they got after school, they got study, so they can keep their grades up, so they could play on the team and blah blah. So they, you know, they organize, they got stuff to do. Blah 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 blah. Making those daily choices to play basketball is not just about whether you make it in the NBA. It's about moving within that wave and that culture. And that culture keeping you out of other spaces and other pockets. Whereas if you wasn't there, going to practice, doing your little after game tutoring, whatever, like where would you be? You might be now on the block for the next, you might be. So just in life, there's a part where you look back and you go, all of the things that you said you were going to do, even if you didn't do them or not, how much you attempted, how much you personally bought into those things, is like you were conditioning your body over time to be the father you are, the business person you are, blah, 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 blah. And the beauty of that is we're still conditioning ourselves, you know. We're still conditioning ourselves right now, right? Because if technically, you know, if you're still alive, you still got more work to do. Right? And so to bring us all the way back full circle again, right? To make this make sense again, right? Because we didn't see, there was a time period, like, and it's not far back. I'm not even 50 years old yet, and this was told to us that we wasn't going to make it to be 21 and, you know, stuff like this. This is what we had to listen to in elementary school. Oh, you ain't going to make it to be 21, or you're going to be in prison, or blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, you're slinging crack rock, or you got a wicked jump shot. All of those things that flood the culture because of limited opportunity, or just the idea you're willing to trade a lot more of your time for money than it's worth, which is the first thing that people with money start doing, is buying back their time. They start buying back their time, and they become a lot freer with money and a lot stingier with their time. You can have some of their money, but you might not be able to get none of their time. People with no money, free with their time. People with a lot of money, not free with their time. Because the time is the more important thing. So we got to start now preparing for time. We got to prepare for time, right? We got to build the infrastructure for success. Remember back to the beginning of the conversation. We got to build the infrastructure is not prepared for success. We got to build for success. We got to start to see ourselves as 60 and 70-year-old men. We have to start to see ourselves as 60 and 70-year-old men. We have to start to see ourselves as 60 and 70-year-old women. We have to see ourselves as 90 years old. We have to start to see ourselves as 100. Because the zips zip is just a symptom. Zip just a symptom. We're moving without the one, without the knowledge, you know. Ain't nothing else to that. Right? And sometimes when you just break it down as easy and simple as it can be, I think that's what happened with that water video. Yeah, because a lot of people done grabbed that water video section where I was talking about tap water. And it just so happened that Zip, you know, he promote tap water. It just so happened that he promotes tap water. But I was saying a lot of people drink tap water. This is all a part of this, really a part of this one conversation. Right? Listen to what I'm saying. Follow me for a second, because this is all part of this one conversation. This is how smart people don't realize how dumb they are. Right? The smarter we are, the more we build up complexes that we don't allow people into. We don't allow people to challenge us in certain spaces. Right? And so we build up these complexes in our minds that it's just not real. So I guess I touched a nerve in that water video, when I was saying, because the segment done went viral. And what I mean is, this is the next thing that's stolen from Dr. EnQi. So you'll probably hear it on like some big platforms. This is gone. But I was talking about tap water. Right? Just something as simple as tap water, because tap water is something that people take for granted, that they know about. Oh, I know about tap water. Oh, I know about spring water in Fiji. I know about water. Yeah, I know about all that. I'm deep. I know about structured water. Like they start going into whatever they types of whatever they, distilled water. I know about all that. Yeah. I know about the hydrogen. I know about all that. Right. When you hear the ignorance, I don't drink no tap water. What kind of soda y'all got? This happens. Listen to what I'm telling you. This happens at a restaurant literally 10,000 times per minute. Right now. Listen, right now. All across the world. 10,000 times a minute. Listen to me. Right now. This is how you know people need to stop what they're doing. Go to the Cash App. Send Dr. EnQi some money. Right? They need to stop what they're doing. Go to Amazon. Open up the basket. Add the Dr. EnQi books to your basket, to the checkout, and check out. If you already have all of Dr. EnQi's books, purchase some for your co-workers, your classmates, your loved ones. Listen to me. You have to learn that you have not learned everything. You don't know it all. Right now, 10,000, 100,000. We're going to change the number, damn it. 100,000 times a minute right now around the world. Somebody's going into a restaurant, and right now they're saying, let me see the menu. Let me see the menu. The service agent, right? The male or female, the service agent, give them the menu. You like to start off with something to drink? Distinction. Satisfaction also. Like, I'm picky. I'm I don't know what you got. I don't drink tap water. Do you have any soda? I don't drink tap water. Do you have coffee? I don't drink tap water. Do you have bottled water? I don't drink tap water. Do you have diet soda? Do you have orange juice? Do you have Minute Maid? Do you have Powerade? Do you have 7-Up, Coca-Cola? Not realizing just in that small instance how dumb you sound. Because everybody sounds that dumb. The bar is that low. Listen, the bar is that low. Everybody sound that dumb. This is how I'm sitting around people just listening to people talk that think they know what they're talking about. These are the people that think they know what they're talking about. Because again, we live in a world where people are having organic salads and IVF babies. Like, this is the world we live in. So people think they know what they're talking about when they say, they have the gesture like, some gesture like that, Yeah. I don't drink tap water.
Bring me a wait. Oh, didn't Boosie? Man, you know what? I gotta look to see if I can find that. I think it was a clip floating around of Boosie literally paying like $400 for somebody to go get him a can of soda. Something crazy. I don't drink no bottled water. Go get me a can of soda. This is what I'm telling you. Y'all ignorance. See, look, this is why I love y'all. I love y'all more than y'all love yourselves. You would never understand this type of love. I love y'all more than y'all love yourselves. You can't understand how ignorant we sound when we say, I don't drink tap water. Let me get a soda. Because the soda is a tap water. Right? So listen, I want to make this very plain and abundantly clear in this video. If you drink soda of any kind, you drink tap water. Right? Now, how does this relate to Zip? How does this relate to Rich Homie Quan? How does this relate to Dame Dash with the teeth? Right? How does this relate? Because we're a group of people that don't know anything. And why I said you could see it in every area of our life, because we have the lowest grades, grade point averages, performance on tests, reading, math, IQs. And we're seeing that when it comes to life expectancy versus genetic probability. When we look at genetic probability versus life expectancy, health span, lifespan, it's not adding up. It's not adding up. And it's because just something that we would take for granted, like just, oh yeah, no, I don't drink tap water. You know, give me a coffee. What you think? You think Starbucks? Yo, you think Starbucks is making your coffee with spring water, nigga? Are you crazy? Yo, hold up. Listen, you think Starbucks is making your coffee or your tea with spring water? You think they in the back popping open Fijis? When you order a coffee, you think that somebody in the back opened up a Fiji and poured it. Talk to me. I'm just trying to get clarity so I can understand. Yo, I'm just trying to get clarity so I can understand what's going on. Like, I'm just trying to get clarity so I can understand what's going on. When you say, I don't drink tap water, let me get a soda. What in your mind, people, remember, I love you. Don't go rob me. When you learn something, you support, right? Hit the Cash App, go get the books, tap in with the folks. When you go out into the world to share this information, make sure you say, listen, I was watching this guy named Dr. EnQi. Okay, he's a doctor, but he has gold teeth, and yeah, but he has this concept, and he was talking about tap water, and he's explaining how everybody's full of shit. Yeah, he's just, Dr. EnQi's been explaining how everybody's full of shit. And because they're full of shit, they don't even understand how something as simple as understanding a tap water. When we in a world where people are eating organic salad and having IVF babies, people don't understand tap water. So they at restaurants. Yeah, no. I don't know. What do you guys have to drink? I'm a little parched.
I don't know. Just give me anything cool. I mean, I don't drink tap water. What do you guys have? Do you have like some sort of drink, you have like a fruit punch or something? Yeah, I won't have, no tap water though. But do you anything fruity? Something fruity. Give me something fruity. That's happening 10,000 times a minute right now in restaurants all around the world right now. And so this is where I have to come in and I have to explain. This is where I got to get you guys to respect yourself. What you mean by that, Doc? First meaning is the more you respect yourself, the more you respect me. I shouldn't have to look a certain way to be able to teach you and engage you a certain type of way, right? Zip fell into the trap. I would have never thought that Zip would have fell into the trap. Yo, he got gold teeth. Yo, he got gold teeth. I can't believe this Zip was talking about my teeth. What's wrong with Zip? He got gold teeth. Crazy. Crazy. He got gold teeth. But this is my point. It's information that's going to change the world. That's why the books are so important. Making the small little personal changes that doesn't help change your neighbor, your coworker, your baby father, baby mother, your moms, your dad, your son, your daughter, your teammate, that doesn't translate that way. The information is the only thing that can translate. Information. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that you can take from looking at Dame Dash with the teeth. And then you see Irv Gotti. You listen to Zip with the drip. You understand that he speaks for the masses because he represents the masses. They see him, they resonate with him. So that's where their intelligence level is at. Right? So this is how people walk into a restaurant and say, listen, yeah, I don't drink tap water. Give me a beer. I don't drink tap water. Give me a beer. As if these niggas believe that their beer company is opening up bottles of Fiji to make your beer. Nigga, if you drink beer, you drink tap water. Listen to me. If you drink beer, you drink tap water. I don't drink no beer. Let me get a Heineken. Nigga, you drinking tap water. You just ordered tap water in the Heineken. That's tap water right there. The Heineken is tap water. Had a little repressed energy. I didn't get to respond, Did the rap video, and I was working on the content. I couldn't, so a few days passed by. We here, I have to go on these rants from time to time. I think these rants are more about me, less about you. I'm just talking about the audience, you know what I'm saying? Like the audience. But I think it's more about my personal frustration with the state of mind of where the people, the general overall status of where the people's minds are. My frustration with that can sometimes get the best of me. Right? But Just things like that. And these people, like, they think they know already. Because I'm like, yo, you need to go to Amazon and get the books. Go to Amazon and get the books. They're like, oh yeah, nah, I'm gonna jump on it. Yeah, I don't drink tap water. Let me get a 7-Up. Yeah, that 7-Up, that's a tap water. I want y'all to send this video to every human that you know. Every human that you know, send this video. Every human that you know, send this video to them. Matter of fact, I think I probably should rename this video the Science of Tap Water. Right? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rename this. I'm gonna have to. The Science of Tap Water, starring the mascot for tap water himself, Zip with the Drip. Zip with the Drip. Oh, with the drip. The blood clot this. Listen, that's what Zip named. Zip was born for this. Is his role. This is his role. I keep saying Zip is a movie star. Zip, we done found your role. Zip with the Drip. Think about this is perfect. Zip with the Drip. Flawless role. Flawless role. We're gonna change this to a movie, a docu-movie, a docu-series on tap water. Right? Where Dr. EnQi is breaking down the science of tap water like you never heard. All right. So I want you to go into the supermarket now with your They Live glasses on. Right. And when you get in the supermarket, I want you to see that everything is tap water. If it's not spring water, artesian water is tap. When you go in there and you go in your supermarket, all right, you go to the right. Anywhere in America, when you go to your right, that's the produce side of the supermarket. So they're going to have the fresher types of juices, right? Which are also tap water, right? So when you talking about, what's the name of them juices? Green Goodness, Boathouse Farm, all them joints that's in that group together. You know what I'm talking about. All of them damn juices that's in that group together. All them juices is tap water. Listen, all those juices is tap water. The only thing that's not tap water that's in those sections of the supermarket is coconut water. And when I say coconut water, I'm talking about raw coconut water. The raw coconut water is like $4.45 or $4.90 or something like that for, a 12 ounce, something like, yeah, it's outside of that, or like an apple juice or something to that effect. Like all that stuff is tap water. All that stuff is tap water. If it was made, if it was mixed, if it was manufactured, and it's a liquid for you to drink 99.9999999% of the time, it's tap water. Your coffee is tap water. Your beer is tap water. Your soda is tap water. These juices is tap water. Powerade, Gatorade, all these athletes, you on the sideline trying to rehydrate to get the best out of your body. Tap water is what you're getting. All them joints is tap water. Everybody you know of be lying, just straight capping. Yo, I don't drink tap water. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you definitely drink tap water. No. It's a certainty. I'm almost sure of it. And I don't even have to get technical with most people with like how much water their skin absorbs or nothing crazy like that. It's just people don't realize that you still drink tap water. You limit your tap water exposure, but you still drink tap water. You know what I'm saying? Like if you drink bottled water, most people are on some degree of bottled water. You know, we learned something about healthy water. You know, we've heard of a filter or alkaline or something to that effect. We've heard about something. So we're on some type of guard against low quality water. And somewhere in between our fear and our bankroll determines what type of water we drinking for the most part of the time. But when you get ice in your drink, that's tap water. Most of your drinks are tap. You know, like the sodas, the coffees, the beers, the liquors, the vinegars, all this stuff is tap. Listen to what I'm saying. This is not about quality of water. This is what I think people is getting so twisted. This is not about me talking about quality of water. I don't want people to start a debate on which water is the best. What I'm talking about is lack of knowledge. I'm talking about Zip with his emphatic statements leading people down the road to nowhere. I'm talking about Rich Homie Quan died at 33 years old, 34 years old. I'm talking about Fat Man Scoop, right, in his 50s. I'm talking about Dame Dash teeth falling out. I'm talking about Dame Dash literally in front of our eyes going from like 30 years old to like Sanford and Son overnight. Like this nigga went from like, I don't know about you, but for me, like I see the Dame Dash doing the Rockefeller dance and he just somehow turned into Sanford and Son. Like, bam, like overnight, Dame Dash turned into Sanford and Son with his teeth. Like, that was crazy for me. I don't think y'all understand. That was crazy for me. Yeah, to see his teeth fly out like that. See that? That's his teeth right there. They're flying out. His teeth had flew out. You see, his teeth flew out. And then he had to do a video explaining it. And here's the explainer video. He was, basically explaining to people about the teeth. And some people were saying that happened because of Yaki's products. But he was explaining it and he was showing people his teeth. And I'm just saying, like, this is a part of the reason why one of our new books is named Live Fast, Die Dumb. Because we've been sold this dream, money over everything. Get rich or die trying. Like, we've been sold this idea as a part of the culture almost to take a, hook, line, and sinker. And now we're seeing people make it. We're not dying at 21 no more. We're not dying at 30. The idea that we only will make it to, 25 or go to prison like that. We're not doing that anymore, Black men. So because we're not doing that, now we've got to start teaching our kids how to read better, because that's going to prep them for later years in life. The more reading they do, the longer they'll have neurogenesis, their brain will work. So they'll have a much longer time before Alzheimer's or dementia catch them. They'll be more suitable, adaptable, because of the enhanced plasticity to adapt to the changing culture that they're going to have to do. As you get older, you're going to have to be able to adapt faster. And we got to start to think like this. We're going to be around at 60, at 70. How do we want to look at 60 and 70? How do we want to feel at 60 and 70? Who's taking this shit serious? I'm serious. See, I'm serious with what I'm saying. We're not paying attention, you know what I'm saying, until it's a K Slay. Oh, wow, what happened to K Slay? Watch, as much hell as they give Rick Ross, if something happened to Rick Ross, oh my God, what happened to Rick Ross? Like, I don't know why we keep sitting around. We just keep sitting around watching one by one as people drop off. Oh, damn, what happened to Big Pun? Oh, damn, what happened to this one? Oh, no. Well, this one died because he was fat. This one died from heart disease. This one died because he OD'd on, I think we're safe to say he OD'd. Oh, this one here, he died from a tumor. This one died from all of them died from a culture that has become allergic to knowledge itself. So my only point in bringing up the tap water is so that people can understand at a basic level, even if you think you understand something, there's room for you to still learn something. There's always more room to learn. Most of the people that's listening to this video, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, damn. I wonder how many times I done caught myself saying that. Yeah, I don't drink tap water. Let me get one of them Oddweiler juices. Let me get one of those Bolt House juices. Let me get one of those. All them drinks got tap water in there. If they don't say 100% juice, they got tap water in it. If it say 100% juice, you might be good. You might be good. The law is kind of flexible. 100% juice could, might not be exactly 100% juice. You know what I'm saying? But you good, you Gucci if it say 100% juice, right? But if it don't say 100% juice, oh, it's yeah, you got that tap water. And don't get into the world of reconstituted and this and that and the other. So, no, I was just trying to use that as a way to point out the fact that people are not taking learning serious, and people are not connecting the learning part to the rich homie Quan ODing as a young, successful entertainer in your early 30s. They're not. Again, because we don't see with our eyes and we don't hear with our ears, we only see and we hear with our mind. Depending on how the mind is developed, how much we know of a subject, how much we understand its impact on us, we don't really know how to prioritize things. So what I'm pointing out is the Dame Dash with the teeth falling out. For most people, that's funny. For some of us, this is scary. We right around the corner from Dame. We grew up with fear, violence, poverty, you know, having a few dollars, those were the things that dictated what you should have and what you shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? So if you like Oreos and you have money for Oreos, nigga, go get you some Oreos. Now your teeth flying out. Now your teeth flying out. You 50 years old. Your teeth, you ain't got no teeth at 50. Right? We can't, the information that we have, we can't, like, it's not like we're going to press a button and then we're going to create whole new bodies. We're not going to press a button and make a whole new body. But we could combat a lot of what we've done over our lifetime. We could combat a lot of what we're doing in our lifetime right now. We can shift some of the focus from the money part of the equation to the time part of the equation. Because this is where we at now. Now we're in the look stupid. This is the time period where we just look stupid, waiting to everybody to come around to say, yo, we should listen to that guy with the gold teeth. This is that time period where we just all look stupid. Because you got 30-year-olds with money ODing. The same way you got big, tall, overweight, fat guys that have been fat for 20 years, 30 years already. We memorize them as fat in our mind. We memorize K-Slay as a fat guy. Heavy D as a fat guy. Big Pun as a fat guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Fat Man Scoop, his name is Fat Man Scoop. We've memorized this is a part of their person and their character. This guy is fat. We're not thinking this guy is sick. This guy need help. It's just this guy is fat. Society says don't body shame. Mind your business. Somebody getting rich off that. Zip just dumb. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, obviously coming from the side of YouTube Zip is on, he don't know how to handle a loss. Like, so I expected all of the under the table, you know, the Frank Stan action, attacking my kids, right? What type of nigga is you? Yo, what type of nigga is Zip attacking niggas' kids, bro? Oh my God. I thought niggas was tough. How you tough attacking? That's crazy. It's like a nigga explaining he tough to you while putting Vaseline on his face to get ready for a fight, taking his earrings out. I'm tough. How you tough attacking kids? That's crazy. But no, he you know, Zip is a genius at what he does. So the bubble just kept building, I guess, and he didn't, you know. Whenever I guess he battled against somebody else on the internet, he usually holds out. You know what I'm saying? He just wasn't, I guess, prepared, or I would actually say he wasn't equipped. He wasn't equipped to come over into the smart space and really compete. You know what I'm saying? The jokes and the bravado can only go so far. The jokes and the bravado can only go but so far. But what I'm saying is Zip is a case study. Zip is a case study. And while we have Zip, right, getting high all day, you know, hitting licks, getting high, you know, like that whole concept, we're going to continue to have the rich homie Quans pop up, right? The young guys that they got their health, their money, and the sisters, the young people that just pop up dead. They just pop up dead. We don't even have an explanation. They just pop up dead. Oh, they OD'd. Wait, What do you mean by OD? You mean a drug was found in their system in such a high quantity that their body couldn't deal with it, that they never took before? No. This is a drug that they've been taking for a long time in their body. So these people ODing. It's not like somebody's secretly injecting something into them. No, this is repeat usage, high culture. Well, the high culture is built around the stress and the self-medication culture. This is the interface where knowledge and being ignorant, this is where it's make or break at. How you gonna deal with your stress? How you gonna deal with your adverse situations? How you gonna deal with shit when it gets uncomfortable? And when we add up the 30-year-olds and the 35-year-olds that's dying, we just shrugging our hands. When we add them up with the 60-year-olds, you know what I'm saying? The ones who's not lucky enough to be being filmed with their teeth flying out. Respectfully. Right? Respectfully. This was the same thing with Ed Lover. Not Ed Lover. Dr. Dre. Right? West Coast Dr. Dre, old school Dr. Dre, MTV Dr. Dre. Yeah, this is the thing with Dr. Dre. Information is not gonna make us immortal, but we could just do so much better than what we're doing. Because now we look crazy as the Irv Gottis start walking on canes, because they secretly surviving strokes. Secretly they're surviving strokes, and they're surviving strokes, spending millions of dollars. So even with being able to afford the best care in the world, or the most expensive care in the world, let's rephrase, don't believe that means they can continuously afford it. Being able to afford the best care in the world does not mean a person can continuously afford it. If a stroke costs you $5-10 million at X hospital, that's the best hospital, you might be able to afford to have a stroke or two, maybe. Yeah, that might be that hospital that we just drive by. Nobody never really been in there. We really don't even know if they open for real, for real. We just heard about stuff, that hospital right there. Like, everybody got that hospital. You just drive by that hospital. That hospital too expensive. Yeah, we don't actually go in that hospital, but we know, that's where we'd like to go. That's where the people be at. Yeah, we'd like to go. But no matter what it is, there's a dollar that is going to price you out the game if you don't have the information. Yo, listen. Listen, I cannot take the credit. I cannot take the credit. People start sending me the memes talking about Yaki products. Listen, they did the video, people seeing Yaki and Dame Dash together. Yeah. And so they thought Dame was working on his diabetes doing Yaki's program. And then, Teethgate, right? Teeth came out. Y'all better stop laughing at my gold teeth. Y'all need some gold teeth. Yo, I'm just saying. Nah. Nah, he's not the truth. What do you mean Yaki's the truth? No, y'all are wild. Yaki's not the truth, man. Y'all are crazy. Listen. Yaki don't know what he's talking about. This is why, seriously, this is why they saying Dame teeth falling out.
Eat flesh. Same thing. Flesh, showing you that you were not created to eat flesh. Same thing when it comes to water. See, you're supposed to eat water. You're supposed to chew water. You're not supposed to drink water. You do not drink water. Dogs drink water. Yeah,
listen. Trust me, no. Yaki doesn't know what he's talking about. Yaki teaches that humans was not designed to drink water. I mean, humans are not designed to drink water. Yaki teaches that men have a G-spot located in their anus. So Yaki is not the type of teacher that... Now, here's the thing. I had to realize that everybody's ideas are different, right? Everybody's ideas are different. So what I mean by that is, for you, right? For you watching, love, peace, right? For you, I don't know what you do in life, what your goals are, what your orientation is, what your gender is, your pronouns. I don't know any of those things, right? So now for you, if you're somebody that you believe in this, then Yaki could be. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to open up the door where we could all be right at the same time. You see what I'm saying?
A man has something called a G-spot, and the only way you can get through it is through his anus. Nah, I don't want my son under no nigga like that. And the only way you can get through it is through his anus. Nah, I don't want... a man has something called a G-spot, and the only way you can get through it is through his anus. Nah, I don't want my son under no nigga like that.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so now, if you the type of person that, based on whatever you got going on in your life, you feel like, okay, yeah, there's a G-spot. It's located in my anus. My name is Minister EnQi. I am the naturopathic doctor and the spokesman for the Melanin Verse Diabetes Ministry. Every time you go to the supermarket without the electrician grocery shopping list, it's like putting a loaded gun to your head. Stop playing Russian roulette with your life. No, seriously, respectfully. But you know, a lot of personal perspective and who we are as a people bleeds into who we put stock into, you know. So if something is resonating, and this is why I was saying Zip with the Drip is an interesting case study, because a part of Zip's tough story is that while he was in prison, he did 20 years in prison, that he was carrying and smuggling a lot of things in his anus. Like, that's a part of his story, is that he was always selling a lot of things. That's because he had a wide variety of things smuggled in his anus. I just think that like minds link up. You know, I think that there's a space where like minds link up. So for me, instantly, if I didn't know anything at all, and I was watching, I don't know, a LeBron clip, and afterwards a Brother Yaki clip comes on, and Yaki says in the clip, men, and he shows you with his finger, men, they have a G spot, and you got to get through it into your anus. For me, immediately, if I seen that clip, I would go, wow, he's an idiot. He's an outspoken idiot, but he's an idiot nonetheless. I wonder how many people are going to follow that. Like, that's how my mind would start to dissect and, like, respond to the incoming. Like, that's how my mind would. There's other people, and I'm starting to learn. I'm saying all this to say I'm learning to grow as a person, meaning me. I'm learning to grow as a person and realizing that other people, there are other men, right? Listen to this. There's other men. Hold on. This is important. They're going to see Brother Yaki, right? And he wears the Timberlands, like Zip. It's like, yeah, I'm tough. You know what I'm saying? I'm a rapper. I got shot. I'm selling cocaine. You know what I'm saying? So when they see Yaki and he has that exterior, and Yaki says, the way to get up into his G spot is through his anus. And this is what he's been teaching. All of the guys that immediately have been having anus sensitivity issues. That's what we're going to call it. Anus sensitivity issues over the years, meaning, they've looked at other men in the gym, like you in the locker room, you done worked out, you in the locker room. Now, everybody's sharing the locker room, but every so often it's a nigga that's staring a little too long. Like, yo, you just gotta ask him a question. Like, he's staring so long, you don't want to create a problem where there is no problem, but you definitely gotta, like, intercept the problem and stop the problem from becoming a problem before it's a problem. Because right now it's not a problem, but it's looking like it could be a problem. So before it become a problem, you're going to handle the problem and adjust the problem. Bring it down a notch. Tranquilo, papi. So you notice he's staring a little bit too long. So you just hit him with the preemptive head nod. Works, Yo, you good, fam? You good, bro? Now, if he looked dangerous or something looked a little off, instead of "Are you good?" because that might trigger, like, instead of that, you might want to go with a, "Hey, what time is it? What time is it? You know what time this place closed? What time is it? What time is it? What time you got?" Right?
you got to try to read the room. You got to try to read the room. Right? You got to try to read the room. I'm just saying, though, listen, this is real. This is real. This is the real deal. For people, for men who have had issues where they feel like they've wanted something in their anus. Listen, they see Brother Rich, Brother Yaki, they see these guys and they identify with that. They resonate with that. So immediately they want to buy products. They want to listen to more conversation. They want to get more involved. Like they want to help. They want to reach out. Like, what do you need to further your... These are just the facts. These are just the facts. See, y'all don't understand what y'all seeing when y'all seeing it right in front of y'all. Like, how do they blackball? No, it's mad easy, bro. All they got to do is just put these conversational feelers out there. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm already saying I'm uncomfortable, nah, bro, I'm good. And that's not what we teach. That's not real science, bro. There's no anus. It's no G-spot. It's no G-spot in my anus, bro. This ain't no. It's not only is there no G-spot in my anus, you're not welcome to have the stench of that lingering ideology hang around until somebody somehow says, let's teach this to the kid. Like, nah. We need to stomp that out. Like, hold on. Everybody, quiet down. Pay attention to this guy. What are you saying? Okay, yeah, that is so incorrect that we want you to forget that you ever thought of it. Don't ever repeat that again. Let's just stomp that out of existence. Yo. Listen, man, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Everybody's different. So for some of us, Yaki might be the truth. When he say, listen, men got the G-spot in their anus. A lot of men is going to be like, yo, yeah, I got a G-spot up in my anus. I'm feeling whatever Yaki's saying. I want to, let's hear about more of that. Let's get some herbs to stimulate those sensations. Like, they're going to be interested in that. Some men are going to be like, nah, I don't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I never heard of that. In fact, yeah, nobody's documented that. I don't feel any sensations and, like, nah, I'm good. Nothing's going on in my anus. I don't resonate with that information that there's something that needs to, no. So I think that's where the problem is coming in at. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to work on me to develop more patience, more maturity, so that I can have more room to see where other people are coming from. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like I'm just saying, Yaki, you know what I'm saying? That's before you get to the fact that I'm obviously the person who created the fruit fast that people have stolen and blah, blah, blah. Before you even get into all of that, just from an outside looking in, like as a man, once you say that is a G-spot in your anus and you're a health teacher, I'm straight. Like that don't even go together. Hey, guys, let's get together. Everybody, crowd around. All the men, crowd around real quick. Listen, guys, there's a G-spot up inside your anus. Okay, now listen. I'm a certified health teacher. I'm gonna basically train you guys on how to be healthy, strong men, right? We're gonna start with now. Some people are gonna say this is childish. This is too petty. This is too childish. This don't make no sense, Dr. EnQi. You have better things to do with your time. Not always. Take that for however you want that to go. Seriously, not always. What you might think would be a waste of time is I sat and thought of a variety of ways to word what I wanted to say. And I said, you know what? The people that are, because that's, I guess, how it came out in the conversation with the Mona Harris video in the first place. But, just it's been, I guess, a pet peeve of mine forever. Yeah, I don't drink tap water. Yeah, give me one of them Gatorades. Like people, like maybe you had a cookout. They want to know what's in the cooler. What's that water? Oh, what kind of water is that? Purified water. Oh, I don't want none of that purified water. Give me one of them Gatorades. What you mean you don't want no purified water? Nigga, you drink purified water, you drink Pepsi. What you think is in that Gatorade? Is purified water's in that Gatorade, AKA tap. So that ignorance, to me, is what I see when I look at Zip. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was one time where I just saw the entertainment value, but now when I look, I can't help but see the ignorant. I can't help but see the side of him saying, like, press 1 in the chat if you think Dr. Sebi was capping. Like, meanwhile, you got Irv Gotti walking on the cane, Dame Dash T flying out. Right? Dame Dash T flying out. Irv Gotti on the cane. Right? And what am I saying? Am I saying anything wrong? Is it me? I'm just saying that, we in this space now, in this pocket now, where we got to prepare for this other aspect of life. This is here now. We've confidently conquered, like making it past our 20s. Like we have to get settled in. We're going to live past 40. So how are we going to live past 40? What are we going to do at 40? At 40, will we still be able to skateboard? Will we still be able to go one-on-one with our sons playing basketball? You know what I'm saying? Like, can we do this? Can we hold our daughters' doll babies in the air long enough to make them scream without the blood stop circulating in our hands first? Because, once you get past 30 years old, everybody can't hold their hands up like this no more. Just simple things like this. Everybody, put your hands up. Let's see how long you can hold your hands up. A lot of people can't hold their hands up. Blood issues start happening, or bend over and touch their feet. They can't. Blood start rushing to their head. Basic, simple things. After 30 years old. And it's because, again, the ignorance part, we're not getting because we're not planning for this eventuality now that's with us now. Yeah. We're going to live through 40. Forget about 60 and 70. Like the Dame Dash with the teeth flying out. Hey, nigga, you always, that's how you just put that in a rap magazine. Hey, nigga, you're a fashion icon. So I'm serious with the A nigga and all that. You got to add the A nigga. Hey, nigga, you're a fashion icon. So now that's a moment. That's a moment in hip hop. Dame Dash with his teeth flying out. Like that's literally an iconic moment. Remember that you heard that first right here. That's an iconic moment, though. Dame Dash with the teeth flying out. Think about that. We come from a culture where nobody was living long. That's where the culture came from. Like life was cheap in the neighborhood. No health care. Life is cheap. We don't even understand what health care means. We're just trying to eat today. We're just trying to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the idea of making it to be old and fat, like that was something to achieve. That was something to value. Like, man, I wish I could just make it to be old and fat. Well, guess what? Now that we've achieved old and fat, now we got to realize that old and fat is sick. Now that we have achieved old and fat, we have to realize that old and fat is sick. And we don't have to do the, you know, as our hair turn gray, we just cover it up with the Beijing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying not to cover it up with the Beijing. Do what you do. Bleach it, blonde it, blue it, purple it, black it. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. But also take that for what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? When you look outside and you see the leaves changing on the trees, you know that that tree is going into a different season. When you look outside and you see the colors changing on the leaves of the trees, you know that tree is going into a different season. Now that tree has to take care of itself differently in this season to make it out to on the other side. So you got to understand, yeah, you can hit the Beijing and cover it up, but you're going into a different season. When you go from the season where you horny all the time, fellas, you could go 1,000 times back to back a day, or when you start to get into the space where ladies, you go from multi-orgasmic to you can't really get your thing together, you know, unless you got a machine or zzz, you know, like you're going into a different season. It's time to start changing how you're taking care of your body, you know, and we get to a space where we become learned about these things. This is why it's important to get the books and, you know, really double down and focus in on the movement, because we don't have to wait until the problems start. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to wait. Peace and blessings out there to everybody. My name is Dr. EnQi, the founder of the Melanin versus Diabetes movement and ministry. Our goal is to fight diabetes by creating a biochemically literate society, one book at a time. Yo, this guy Vincent is crazy. Vincent comes through and trolls on a regular basis, but Vincent, I don't have enough, respectfully, I don't have enough followers or enough people watching or talking in the chat, or I don't have enough activity for you to put that kind of language in the chat. The algorithm doesn't love us that much yet, so we can't, you know, we need all the algorithm support we can get, family. We don't have any we don't have room for that much of your artistic candor with your how you are trying to articulate your creativity and emotional Now, listen, it just is what it is, though, because sometimes you don't realize when you're saying something, you think you're turning somebody off, but you could be turning them on. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I could be up here saying, yeah, you know, Yaki is whatever. Yaki is terrible. He don't know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Yaki said, you know, men had a G-spot up their anus. Now, this person been dealing with sexual repression and some personal issues and some exploration and some whatever they got, you know. They got stuff going on. They got all kind of things going on in their mind. So, you know, that might be something that attracts them, that brings them in. That thing that pushes you away might pull them in. So a lot of times when, you know, there's little things like that. There's little things like that. You know what I'm saying? The gift and the curse. It's those little things. And this is why I was saying back at the beginning of the conversation, when you look back in time, you're going to notice it wasn't the things that you set out to accomplish, but it was the discipline that you took on all of those little miniature journeys or miniature goals. Because each time, and like I gave the story about the basketball, you know, if you focus on basketball, you might not become an NBA player, but you're going to be exercising. Not only are you going to not be at the street or not at the party or wherever, but you'll also be exercising. You'll also be eating a little bit better. So even if you don't make it to the NBA, the fact that your body is better conditioned, right, might be preparing you for something else, right? And that's what I'm saying overall in our lives. The little goals that we set for ourselves. Oh, I'm getting ready to do this. You might not go all the way plant-based, but you intend on changing, making some change. I'm about to switch up my diet. All right, cool. I can work with you. You switch up the diet, you know. May not be fully plant-based, but some portion, you know, we can cut down on some sloppy stuff, some mistakes, some, you know, tone it up, budget-based, you know, we can make some changes. We can, you know what I'm saying? But this really, like I said, it's not about Yaki, you know what I'm saying? Because Yaki is Yaki. Yaki doing him. There's a lot of people, like I said, that's into that anus thing. So that's a whole vibe. That's a whole club, a culture, a movement, and they support one another. So when you say that, when you accept, you know, like that's like throwing the bat sign up. Da-na-na. The back sign up. It's like throwing the back sign up. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. But no, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like when we look at what's going on, it's a lack of prioritizing study and knowledge early on that carries all the way through life. And when we get to our later time, where that is literally the thing that makes or breaks us, how much we know. Because literally that's what happens. When you get past your 50s and 60s, at a certain point, it's nothing but knowledge carrying you. Your body's not in that, it's not that strong. Your tolerances are not that high. Doesn't take you that long to process, liquid into pee. Right? You're not 20 years old anymore. You're the opposite. Everybody's time comes, whether your time comes at 45 or 65 or 95, your time is coming where things slow down on you. The only difference between the person that continues to thrive is the person that knows better. That's all. They just know a little bit more. So when given any set of options, they make a better decision. And then collectively, the results of all those small, better decisions allows them to buy back more time. Seriously. So that was more of, where I was at. I know a lot of people was kind of like waiting for me to do a video about Rich Homie Quan passing away suddenly young. No information on how he passed, why he passed. People putting out the videos about him battling with drugs and ODing and blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of these things are just things that we need to be okay with it ourselves. Because the dead person don't care. They're already dead. So a lot of this is stuff that we need to justify the fact that as a people, we're not putting no money into this. We're not putting no time into this. And this is really what the problem is. And it's not going to go away. And nobody else could do it. Like, this is not something that, like you say, the cliche, we got to do this for ourselves. But it really means each person, like you got to do it for yourself. Like you got to get the books and you got to study. And each person has to get the books and they have to study. It's no other way. Each person has to get the books and they got to study. There's no other way around it. Because we got to learn. We got to go through this learning period where we realize we don't know everything. We've been the person saying, hey, I don't drink tap water. Give me a soda. A coffee is a tap water, right? Because it starts out with tap water. This is what y'all need to understand. I keep going on these tap water rants. Listen. Tap water is healthier for you than your coffee. Tap water is more nutritious for you than your coffee from your Starbucks. Listen to this. I'll try to understand these. Take these takes, clip it, put it on your TikTok, put it all over the place. Tap water is more nutritious than coffee. Okay? Tap water is more nutritious than coffee. Tap water and coffee both start out as tap water, but then you add sugars, dairy products, coloring chemicals, preservatives, flavoring agents, dyes, you name it, a whole load of other chemicals to that tap water to create that coffee product. Tap water is much more nutritious than a can of soda. Tap water is more nutritious than a can of soda. Wait, how could a tap water be more nutritious than anything? Because tap water doesn't even have calories. Water doesn't have calories? Wait a minute. Tap water is more nutritious, euphemistically, than a can of soda. Why? Because the can of soda started out as tap water. But now you got the acid in there that you don't have in the tap water. So tap water plus acid, plus coloring, plus dye, plus sweeteners, plus preservatives, plus conditioners equals the soda. So when you say you don't drink tap water, but you do drink the soda, you do realize the scale is not balanced, right? When you get the Minute Maid, the Gatorade, the Powerade, right? All those things start out with tap water. Then they put some powder in it. Then they add more tap water to it. Some sugar, some coloring, some chemicals, some smell goods. You started out with tap. So tap water is more nutritious than Gatorades and Powerades. Tap water is more nutritious than coffee. Tap water is more nutritious than soda. Tap water is more nutritious than oat milk. Hold on. Listen to this. This is a hot take for some of you niggas. I know you're going to have to wrestle with this. Tap water is more nutritious than oat milk. Listen. Pull yourselves together. Listen. I'm being serious. See, I think I'm playing in the chat. I'm serious. When you get a Gatorade is nothing but tap water with added dye, sugar, chemicals, preservatives, MSG, who knows? But it started off with tap. So I don't see how people get these ideas and stuck in their mind. Like, no. I need y'all to get this. This is because the zip represents John Q. Public. He just funny with how he's, says things or blurts things out. But, he's the ignorant idiot. He's the town fool. The problem is the town's full of fools, right? And so we're now faced with a problem. And if we continue to turn to our jesters like Zip, the problem will only get worse, right? Because every so often I'm laughing, so I'm cracking some jokes here and there. But the reality is Irv Gotti is on a cane right now because he just had a stroke. Fat Man Scoop just passed. Rich Homie Quan just passed. Dame Dash looks like an absolute 100% old pervert now. He looked like one of them old pervert old men. And I'm not saying like really like the pervert part. I'm just saying, like, that's how the old ladies used to describe them. Like, you know what I'm saying? They tell the little girls, like, you better watch it. They give you worms. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they used to say back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Dame Dash officially looked like one of them old men, like would have the big shoes on, you know, with the one strap. yo, Dame Dash looked like one of them old men now that had the big thick shoe with the one strap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dame Dash got the one strap. You know what I'm saying? With the teeth. But here's the thing. We got to take our victories as they come. You know, because everybody's laughing at Dame Dash, not with Dame Dash, you know, it may be difficult for him to receive it, but it's a blessing in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody didn't make it to get this far. You know what I'm saying? Everybody didn't make it to get to where their teeth done wore out, or they done bought so much new teeth or whatever expensive. He explained it with some expensive, you know, like, yeah. So now this is the thing now. Now, whereas everybody else in society at large, honestly, has already been dealing with being a senior. They've already been dealing with being a senior from the aspect of the mind, being a senior from the aspect of your health. You know what I'm saying? You see cats out there jogging, walking, you know, just how they party, how they eat, how they play, how they cry, how they, you know, how they handle their grievances, how they control their impulses, you know, all of those key things that are different to age that you need to figure out in order to age, you know, gracefully. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's no way to get around it. We're going from zips. Listen, we're going from zips at age 35 and 45. Because at 35 and 45, listen to what I want y'all to be clearly hear this shit, what I'm saying. At 35 and 45, you know, and some of us outside that window, but from 35 to 45, we look good enough and our body functions well enough that we can hide the fact that our body is breaking down. By the time you get to 50, Zip with the Drip turns into Dame Dash. Zip with the Drip becomes Dame Dash. Think about it. We've been watching Dame Dash this whole time. We all been growing up with Dame Dash. We all been listening to Dame Dash, being that fast shit talking. Yeah, nigga, well, I do this and that, like, you know, that Zip. So now his teeth is flying out. You know what I'm saying? Like, just saying. What difference could it have made if Dame Dash, instead of making fun of Jay-Z, going to the gym, taking boxing, eating the fruit salads and all that, what if Dame Dash had got with Jay-Z when Jay-Z was making those decisions to go to bed on time, to go to the gym, to take up boxing in his 30s and, you know, in his late years? Dame Dash thought that was funny. Like, you know, you're supposed to learn how to fight when you know, that's supposed to been here to learn how to fight. You're supposed to been here to learn how to fight. What you doing trying to learn how to fight now? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too late. And that's the thing about fighting. Sometimes fighting, you know, like physical contact, hurting another person, sometimes be the last thing in your mind when you think about learning a martial art, whether it's boxing or something else. You might be learning that just for the health purposes. So, but these things are all connected one to another. You know what I'm saying? And it's, you know how this thing go. This thing go by season. So if it's looking like this now, the body's getting ready to start dropping a lot faster. You know, we just haven't seen the carnage get crazy just for the simple fact that the violence, prison, like so many other things are capturing folks. We haven't really got a chance to see what our life choices do to us, because so many other things are catching us before those choices catch back up with us, right? So now that's a fact. That's a fact. That happened. Yo, hold up. That actually happened. We got to put that on the screen right quick. That actually happened. Right? Think about that. That's funny. Because they all sell liquor and we give them hell for selling liquor, even though we're buying the liquor that they're selling. We complain that our artists are selling liquor, even though we're buying the liquor and drinking the liquor, but we mad that our black artists are getting a few dollars for promoting it. We're insane. I'm telling you, it's information, it's knowledge. Black folks got to deal with insanity. That's the main thing. We want to drink liquor in private, but we don't want our same people that's dying from the liver disease, dying from the cancer, the diabetes, everything associated with the blood sugar and all that, but not make any money promoting it. Your energy would be better spent on trying to get people to stop drinking it than trying to get people to stop selling it. You know what I'm saying? But this was an actual thing. And nobody, this is the flowers when you dead concept. That's what that really is about. That's why I be asking people sometime, like, yo, don't wait till I'm dead to give me my flowers. Because that also is, don't wait till I'm dead to act on the ideas that I present today. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a matter of saying somebody's good, like, yo, a basketball player, oh, he's a good basketball, oh, he's a good dad, let's give him his flowers today. No, it's let's actuate. Let's get them at their highest potential. Like, let's follow up. Let's put into progress. Let's put into motion. My name is Minister EnQi. I am the naturopathic doctor and the spokesman for the Melanin Burst Diabetes Ministry. Every time you go to the supermarket without the electrician grocery shopping list, it's like putting a loaded gun to your head. Stop playing Russian roulette with your life. Help us make America great again. Learn how to save time. Learn how to save money with the electrician grocery shopping list on Amazon now. Go to Amazon now. The life you save may be your own. Right? Listen, just to what I'm saying. The Zips represent the ignorant nigga that don't know no better. But not like an 85er. An 85er, they don't know, their mind is empty, they're curious. You could teach them very easily. A person that knows a little bit, it's harder to teach them. A person that knows a little bit says, I don't drink tap water, give me a soda. I don't drink tap water, give me a soda. I don't drink tap water, give me a beer. I don't drink tap water. Do y'all make smoothies? What do you think is in the smoothie? Most restaurants going to be tap water in the smoothie because it's going to be mostly ice, right? The ice is going to be tap water. The ice is going to be tap water, and most of the fruit is going to be canned fruit. Come on, guys. This is what I'm saying. I need y'all to wake up and work with me here. Listen, the smoothie is going to be tap water. The beer is tap water. The coffee is tap water. The tea is tap water. The Minute Maid, the Powerade, and the Gatorade is tap water. The soda is tap water. The seltzer water is tap water. The fruit punch is tap water. Listen, I just want people to get into the space where we realize we don't know everything, so we got to start learning. We got to start learning because now we're making it. That's what Dame Dash represents. Dame Dash is George and Wheezy, right? We're making it. We come from an era where it was like, oh, you might not make it to 21. You might not make it to 25, right? So now we've made it. And those of us that survived being told we wouldn't make it to 21 or we wouldn't make it to 25, we're now 50, right? We're now 60. And most of us have not put any time or money into figuring out, how does my body work? How am I going to take care of this thing? I want to keep enjoying playing ball like I used to. I want to keep enjoying having sex. You know, I want to keep enjoying having sex like I used to. You know, I want to keep enjoying jogging or, you know, drawing or painting or, you know, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Playing with the children. I want to keep enjoying those things like I used to be able to. What is going on right now? Hey. Yo, somebody's name is Joe Blow in the chat. Joe Blow, you gotta relax, bro. EnQi only support Freemasons. Hey, what else can they say? Do y'all really know, like, yo, you know this guy Zip went crazy? I made a rap song about Zip. A freestyle. Zip went crazy. He start talking about my kids, everything. Some of the wolves wanted to get on him. It felt good, you know, for people to call you up concerned. Like, yo, what you want? Yo, you want me to get that, son? I was like, nah, I should expect this is overdue. I was actually expecting him like a couple of videos before that to lose control of his bodily functions and jump out the window. You know, because that's pretty much what happens. It's a battle of wits, and you know, niggas is unarmed. It's a battle of wits, and niggas is unarmed. Niggas is approaching the battle of wits unarmed. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that was going to come after, you know, exploring, you know, just highlighting the videos, because those videos was making them pretty angry. Like just highlighting how when you're high and you're alone, it's very easy to think that the things that you're saying are very intelligent. But Zip is just high and alone. Zip is high and alone, and he's connecting with other people that are also high and alone. You get a blunt rap. It's like Oprah. You get a blunt rap. You get a blunt rap. And you get a blunt rap. That's like the audience over there. And so the problem is that's the same audience that puts down their phone for a second when somebody dies and go, oh my God, Rich Homie Quan, yo. And everybody start posting pictures of Rich Homie Quan saying rest in peace and how amazing he was. And, you know, support the Rich Homie Quan t-shirt. Like 2 weeks ago when Rich Homie Quan was alive, where was the energy, right? The energy was directed at some shit that wasn't important, right? But we stopped that for a hot second to take a look at the car crash, acknowledge the car crash, and then we keep going. No thought in like the fact that this is cyclic. This is cyclic, meaning you're looking over at the car crash. Okay, cool. This is how it's going to look when it's your turn. It's cyclic. You'll be up soon. Unless you make some different driving decisions than those drivers over there on the other side of the road. But if you make the same decisions, the only thing separating you from them is time. And that's what we got to start doing now. We got to collectively start. We have to collectively start to put. We have to really put our emphasis on this longevity thing. I didn't realize how important it was. I didn't realize how important it was. I'm being honest. I didn't realize how important it was. Seriously, I had no real clue of how important it was, because you don't really plan to be around that long. At least not from a certain space, you know, and that's what I was talking about with the generational health thing. You know, like people talking about Illuminati and all kind of foolishness. It's just people with longer plans, like really just longer plans. Like people are just making longer plans. Like we're not planning for the second half of our own life, let alone planning for our kids' lives, or take it a step further, planning on our grandkids, or, you know, like we always just missing the boat. You know, when when we started throwing those terms around, it's the same thing with the time equals money, right? We start saying time equals money, throwing it around, and we only paid attention to the money part. We forgot the time. Just out of a sense of, I gotta have it because I haven't had it. I gotta have it because I haven't had it. Terrible. I've got to have it because I haven't had it. The concept of generational wealth, we focus on the wealth part. We forget that or maybe we don't know that in order to maintain generational wealth, it must be, before you focus on the wealth part, you got to focus on the information and how the information is going to be encapsulated and how it's going to go generation to generation in order for them to maintain whatever the thing is that makes them wealthy. So say, for instance, you invented Facebook. So you invented Facebook, and now your kid's going to deal with generational wealth from Facebook. Well, you need to teach your children to be, familiar with apps and, whatever the competitors look like in that field, and, position them to continue to be able to learn after you're not here so that they can continue to make money off of the Facebook thing into perpetuity. Bron has made so much money, he doesn't need Bronny to turn around and make money playing basketball. But I'm going to need you to get this rites of passage through basketball so that you can run my empire, because it's a basketball empire. So I may not need you to play basketball to continue the legacy, but I do need you to know basketball to continue the legacy. So come on. I'm going to get you on the Lakers real quick. You can figure this thing out. Bronny might be the fastest retired basketball player in history. Right? The vehicle for information. Right? That's what we're running into. People are like, EnQi, this is what we're running into. You know what I'm saying? So between wealth making people sick, weak, and die early, and the environment changing really fast because information's changing fast and our living patterns are changing really fast. What we're doing for limited time only is we're giving away free bottles of bitters. We're giving away free bottles of bitters for a limited time on the website, AmericanHealer.website. We're giving away free bottles of bitters. Like, wait a minute, how do I get the free bottle of bitters? Go to the website and figure it out. AmericanHealer.website. Go to the website and figure out how to get your free bitters. This is collectively, me and the children sat down to try to figure out what we could do to put our 2 cents in. What could we do? Because people's going back to school now. So that means, bacteria, virus, all of the infection rates are going to be going up through the roof. Right? We know that people are eating even less healthy than they already were because of Bidenomics. Right? So we know that people, especially in our communities, were already eating poorly. But now, because of the inflation and the wealth, the money that's just disappearing, because we're sending billions to this country, billions to that country, $5,000 debit cards. You know, let's print up 100,000 $5,000 debit cards and pass them out like shit like that, right? So that's the Bidenomics, right? Kamalanomics, right? The Kamalanomics. So yeah, people are eating less healthy, right? Their dollars aren't stretching as far, right? So only thing we could think of to do is give away a bottle of bitter, something that can work for, you know, everybody in the family. You know, can benefit everybody in the family, tighten everybody up. Auntie, grandpa, Nene, you know, little Tony, right? Everybody to benefit, you know, everybody can take a few shots. Take a few shots. Right? But we're giving them away. We are giving away bottles of bitter right now. We're having a sale. We're giving away bottles of bitter. Seriously. I couldn't think of anything else that made sense. The children couldn't think of anything else that made sense. The bitters was the only thing that made sense. Dope way to give back. Dope way to give back and help people prepare. Because August, October, November, when you start having challenges and the you know, people's faces is looking sneezy and coughy and eyes is looking watery and pinkish and all that, don't start panicking and all that then. Right now was the time to make those changes. This is what having the education gives you. The education gives you foresight. That's the whole idea of studying. That's the whole idea of genius, recognizing patterns. Foresight. Okay, this is going to happen. This is the cycle. How do I know it's going to happen? Because it happened before. I know it's going to happen again because it happened before. So this time I'm going to get ready in advance. I'm going to already have me a few jars of moss in the freezer, couple jars of bitters in the cabinet, stashed away. So when push comes to shove, I'm already ahead of the game. Not only am I already ahead of the game, but my lymphatic system is already up. Right? My lymphatic system is already running strong. I already got my lymph flowing a certain type of way. I already have my aorta. I already have the aorta and the smooth muscle tissue pumping out, you know, protein, certain type of, you know, a certain rhythm with myokines, right? Certain patterns of health, of life, of health and of life that's already on autopilot. Oh, somebody got Joe Blow up out of here. Listen, y'all got wrenches and all that. That's what y'all got wrenches for. If you got a wrench and, you know, somebody is, you know, that's what you got a wrench for. You're supposed to, you know what I mean? But listen, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why when the whole thing popped off with Zip initially, I could have just showed the positive and negative AIDS. You know, I could have showed that paperwork and, you know, like herpes, like I could have showed improved. But what I said was study. Because even now, me just putting that up, that's because we've concluded business. We've concluded business, and there are people in the wake that are still saying they're confused. Like, well, hold on, Mr. EnQi, Dr. EnQi. Yeah, I'm actually curious. I do want to know what does Sebi's court case paperwork mean? Right? What actually, what are they saying? What happened? Right? So you got those. You got that information. Right? All you got to do is go watch from the beginning. We talk about when the legend crashes into the reality. That's what that is. Right? That's the major problem with the Sebi story. Right? Over the years, it's become legendary. So it's been embellished on. Dr. Sebi proved in court that she can cure AIDS with grass from his backyard. Yeah, every year that shit goes by, the story gets better and better. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it's supposed to go. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. If you win a basketball game for your team, the story's going to get better every time you tell it. And that ain't nothing but a basketball game, a championship. So, you know, if you change the game where people were dying and you make a way for people to live, or people were dying and you give them 10 more years or 20 more, man, listen, you've earned your right to have an eccentric moment. You know what I'm saying? But that's why it was more important for me to just like, okay. And then I got caught up, right? Because we were just getting caught up offline stuff, but like that. So I couldn't necessarily come right back, but people had questions. I'm like, okay, don't worry, I'll get around to it. Right? And I think when we were able to go past the immediate blunders, Islam, CMOS, just the crazy stuff like that, and go into the culture, the Shiites and the Ayatollahs and all of that weird, crazy stuff that Zip is into, following people from Iran, and he better be careful. Somebody don't show up at his doorstep with a headset. It's going to be some niggas with some headsets. Listen, Zip, it's going to be some niggas with some headsets to show up at your front door. Talking about he only take orders from the Ayatollah. Nigga, what? What? Are you all right? You know it's 2024. Yeah, it might be some niggas show up the Zip door. Zip might not make it. But seriously, this conversation much more important than Zip, you know. Much more important than Zip. Zip just good in the way. But yeah, I think that's the big issue. Like seriously, we're gonna wrap it up, but I think that's the main issue. Is that, you know, the culture didn't include an old age. Live fast and die young. That's why I literally got the book, wrote the book, Live Fast and Die Dumb. We never created a spot in our culture for old age. We didn't plan for it. So now Dame Dash look goofy with the teeth coming out. We don't have room for that. What do we do with this nigga? Is he grandpa or what? Is that grandpa now? When he got his teeth flying out like that, and Irv Gotti is walking with a walking stand, and Jay-Z is running around chasing Blue, how does that look? Irv is on a walker, Dame teeth is flying out, and Jay-Z looking regular. How does that look? That's what I'm saying. This is the difference between playing with it. Just playing with the information. You know what I'm saying? NFTWFX. You gotta start with book number 1. Go to Amazon right now and get Melanin vs. Diabetes book number 1. Start with book number 1 and then build up your database. Start with book number 1, build up your database. We will walk you through all of the study.
Dr. Sebi does not have an actual medical degree. He has a certificate of healing. It's a piece of paper that says certificate of healing.
So what?
So to me, he's as much of a doctor as Dr. Dre.
Eat a salad? Nah, fuck that. Give me a steak and some tap water. Let's get
Doctor Nick, the EnQi, the EnQi, one of them, the EnQi niggas in particular, the EnQi nigga I was talking about the other day. What's that nigga name? The EnQi doctor, the doctor nigga.
Get these books from Amazon.com right now.
Your science shaky, you need to read Dr. EnQi books. God said he gave you the cow so you can eat. He said he separated the milk from the blood so you could drink it. But you niggas running around talking about, don't eat that. Who the fuck is you niggas to tell me different than what God said, nigga?
Amazon.com.
Saying I put the post with Zip on it, then I put the post with Sebi on it, and then after that, things went, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I feel partially responsible for how this turned out.
Niggas start talking about Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi. They say, oh, so what you think, Dr. Sebi was capping? You don't think he was capping? I know it's impolite to ask a question, to answer a question with a question, but it's 211 people in the chat. in the building right now. I don't know how many of y'all is participating in the chat. Let me get a 1 if you think Dr. Sebi knew what he was curing people. If you give me a 1 if you think he was curing people, and give me a 2 if you think Dr. Sebi was cat.
Now listen, at this moment, I had to go take the dog out, but a lot of number ones went up in the chat.
A lot of number ones went up in the chat right at that moment. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of number ones went up in that chat. But you see what I'm saying? This is because with zip content, right? With zip content, this doesn't make no sense. What are you doing, Zip? Coming way over here, attacking the vegans and Dr. Sebi. What are you doing? You totally out of pocket for this right now.
The world knew New York as Muslims, as gods. When I was growing up, we had knowledge of self. I was a god body. I'm still acknowledging myself as that. I had knowledge of self. New York, we need to get back to being civilized. Off this gang shit, off the blood, off the crib. Let's go back to the essence, nigga.
Back to the
Let's go back to being civilized.
That's all I'm saying, man. We got to get focused now. Zip, you supposed to be way over there with your content. You ain't got no business coming all the way over here talking about phenotypes and genotypes and was Dr. Sebi capping or not. Respectfully, you are not qualified to Zip. You got to relax.
So what you think, Dr. Sebi was capping? You don't think he was capping? I know it's impolite to ask a question, to answer a question with a question, but it's 211 people in the chat, in the building right now. I don't know how many of y'all is participating in the chat. Let me get a 1 if you think Dr. Sebi knew what he was curing people. If you give me a 1 if you think he was curing people, and give me a 2 if you think Dr. Sebi was cat.
Amazon.com.
I'm gonna light this little clear zip up. Let me know. Misplaced loyalty. That's just a lot of ones. 1, 2, come Monte Ellis said cap. More 1s than 2s. I see the 1 and a 2. Share this live, y'all, because I want y'all to really hear this shit that I gotta say in regards to this. Share the live. Share the live. Hit this clip. He beat the U.S. in court. Cap. Him beating the U.S. in court. Cap. I'm calling cap on that. Public record, do your research. He won a case in the Supreme Court, proving it. Cap. Hold up. So now, check it. So one of the comments was about Dr. Sebi. And so my reply, look, same day. I get 63,000 views right here. Boom, saying,
I just want to say, you are what you eat.
Right?
If you only eating plants.
So, this shit is that, I said I had to come right back.
I said what I said about the plant-based diet people. People get in the comments. They upset. Maybe they got plant-based diets. I don't know. Then they start asking me about Dr. Sebi. Oh, so you think Dr. Sebi was capping? Blah, 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 blah. Bitch, who you know that had that hurt, that don't got it no more listening to Dr. Sebi? Because that's what they did. Oh, he had the cure for this. He had the cure. What the fuck did that nigga cure? Who he cured? We want to know. Who had that hurt that don't got it no more? Fuck out of here, Dr. Sebi. That nigga ain't no different than Miss Cleo to me. Let's get to that. Hey, yo.
Now,
I said what
all of you motherfuckers that put one in the chat, tell me who you know that had that hurt or that house in Virginia.
Dr. Sebi does not have an actual medical degree. He has a certificate of healing. It's a piece of paper that says certificate of healing.
So what?
So to me, he's as much of a doctor as Dr. Dre.
Vlad keeps asking, well, is Dr. Sebi, was Dr. Sebi a licensed medical doctor or surgeon? Otherwise, he can't know what he's talking about. Question is, are you a fucking licensed medical doctor or surgeon?
He claims to have cured AIDS and cured cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen any actual proof of any of this. None of those people took an AIDS test before and after Dr. Sebi.
Here is one. This is from the Italian hospital. HIV positive. Hospital Vicente di Antoni. He is positive. In the next page, from the same hospital, the same young man, Oswald Zavala, he is negative.
Get these books from Amazon.com right now.
Your science shaky. You need to read Dr. EnQi books. Who you know that had that hurt that don't got it no more listening to Dr. Sebi?
How about I just share my story? I share my story because this is something close to home. Because if we're dealing with sexual STDs, let's say, I had 2 of them. This is how I got into the whole mix about health. You know, and I wonder how this looks, but I basically, after Georgia State, after being in a relationship where I'm super comfortable with it now because that's in hindsight. That's over a decade ago, right? So for me, you know, and it created such a cascade of things. But let me start from the top. You know, going to Georgia State University, for those of you who don't know, Atlanta, Georgia is the mecca of the greatest ratio for heterosexual males, I would say, in the country. Maybe outside the country, you get like places like the DR, Colombia, Philippines. But Atlanta was where I went to college, Georgia State University. And, you know, when you go to college, you do stupid shit. After graduating from Georgia State University, I found out that I found out through my girlfriend at the time, who, if she's seeing this, you know, she knows. She failed her pap smear test. And after she failed her pap smear test, I was like, yo, I need to go to get myself checked out. And when I got myself checked out, I had an HSV2. And that was the point where I said to myself,
Amazon.com.
Nah, something has to give. And backstory, in my life, previously, I was born with asthma. And from the ages of 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I was in the hospital back to back every single year. Every time the Sahara dust would come over the Caribbean and coat the Caribbean with that smog of really, really nutrient-dense stuff for the plants, I would get asthma. I would first get, my nose would get stuffy, I would get congestion, and then it would drip into my lungs, and I wouldn't be able to breathe. From that experience, the last time I went to the hospital was when I was 12, and I realized that the doctors and the nurses were a bunch of idiots, and I kept doing the same thing over and over, and I was like, fuck them. I'm gonna just do some push-ups. I did some push-ups. The blood went up my IV. They took the IV out. I stopped eating their food, and I just started eating tuna fish and crackers. So by the time from 12 to 13, and then from 13 to 14, I lost an extreme amount of weight. I did push-ups, so I was getting stronger, and I never had to go to the hospital again. Fast forward, the context for what I'm telling you now is I knew when I was diagnosed with these STDs that there was a solution, because this word came from a medical mentality, and I know these guys they're just a bunch of idiots. So around that time, who was the GOAT at that time? It was Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi was going around, he was talking his shit and doing what he was doing. So I went on the Dr. Sebi route, and in doing that, I stopped eating. So I was actually working at Georgia State University as a security guard at the time during this process. I went from being 175 pounds, which I am now again, to about 125, 130 pounds. So I stopped eating. I ate one meal a day, or I'd eat every other day. I ate one meal a day, or I'd eat every other day. I ate one meal a day, or I'd eat every other day.
How to Eat to Live by Elijah Muhammad? That ain't valid.
And I took a bunch of herbs, and eventually I got my negatives. It took, I'd say maybe, if I'm being modest, it took about 8 months for me to get rid of it, where I disappeared into nothingness. And my journey ever since has been trying to figure out how to make this process of healing more efficient. Talk to me.
Just real quick for the people so they can understand what you mean by 8 months to get your complete negatives, like, because they might not understand viral load and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Okay, so when you have HSV, you can have either high viral load or a low viral load.
Amazon.com.
The higher the viral load, the higher the level of your body's defense mechanism against it. The lower the viral load, the less your body's fighting a disease. The only thing you pick up when you're doing an HSV test is your body's fighting of the disease versus its storm, but we'll get to that later. So it took me 8 months to get from where I was to being completely negative. That's how long it took using the approach that I took. And if I'm being 100% honest, I didn't know shit at the time. I just knew that if I kept this up, or rather I just believed, keyword, that if I kept this up, I would get the results. And as I saw the number go down and down, it did just that, right? So that was my journey, and me figuring out how to get those results in the most efficient way has been really, not just for herpes, but in all aspects of health. That's been my health journey. How do I help people get this in the most efficient way? Normal people, because I realized I was not a normal person to just stop eating. It requires a lot of willpower to just go cold turkey. Normal people will never do that in order to get those results. They would never. How to make it so that normal people can get those real results. That is what I spent, I would say, 12, 13 years now, trying to learn. And a part of that journey, I'm speaking to what I would easily say my greatest teacher that helped me figure out the mystery. So this is dope. Just being able to be here. And in this capacity on this live with this man, you guys don't even know.
Amazon.com.
You guys don't even know. And as we begin to talk and share more things transparently in a way that's receptive for people, you guys are going to understand. Like most of the people that you listen to right now, remix a lot of the stuff Dr. EnQi has taught.
Get these books from Amazon.com right now.
Your science shaky. You need to read Dr. EnQi books. Who you know that had that herb that don't got it no more listening to Dr. Sebi?
Get these books from Amazon.com right now.
The EnQi, Dr. EnQi, Dr. EnQi. One of them niggas in particular, Dr. EnQi, Dr. EnQi. Nigga I was talking about the other day. The EnQi. What's that nigga name? The EnQi, Doctor nigga. It ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, you heard?